Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the southeast spawn of Himmelsdorf Encounter, and it's under the command of talon1958, and it's his first submission this week for the weekend competition. And yes, as you may know, he lost last week. Yes, Angelina did a rather good job actually. Got the first class cruiser, and I think it was a Confederate last week, and so she won the competition, and Talon had to accept second place, but he had to get up and look after Remy early in the morning and cook breakfast. So this week's competition has now started, and this is the first replay that he's sent in. Now Himmelsdorf is a particularly difficult map to actually play, mainly down to the fact that Wargaming have over time made changes which actually make it much more difficult to play this particular map. They've actually raised the height of some of the buildings, and you can tell that because previously in the past you may have been able to loot the shell over buildings and into enemy tanks hiding down here, but now it's a little more difficult. You can see it's not much of an arc that you can use to fire at the enemy there. That IS-7, well, you can only see there's a tiny bit of the reticule showing above him, which means that, yes, it's very difficult to score damage. His first shot actually did do some damage to a Tiger II, but only a little bit, and he got some stun assists as well. Well, he did get a hit there for 346, so he proved me wrong because he managed to get that shell over the buildings and into the target. I still think, though, that it's very difficult because I'm sure Wargaming have increased the height of some buildings just as they did on mines on some of the rocks to make it more difficult to loot the shells in. Okay, AE Phase 1 up on top of the hill. It's always a good place to fire at if you can't get shells in down below. Go for the hill. Okay, we're lined up. Rounds out. It exploded right in front of the AE Phase 1. And he did get some damage on the AMBT at the same time. But they both got rid of their stun. The standard reload for this Arty is 40.27 seconds. At the moment we're not actually seeing the reload time, but we can see the icon showing that it is going through. Almost ready to go again. Got an obsidian this time. Rounds out. Oh! That one hit the tower instead of the target. And now we've got a Kari up there. You can see that shell just bounced off the side armor. Those things are actually quite strong. It's a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. Well, it's still fairly even at the moment. Rounds out. Again, landed short. Seems to be getting a lot of short shots, but that Kari's gone, so doesn't have to worry about him. An IS-7 there. Oh dear, we've got a problem. I hope you've watched the mini-map because yes, Talon's been looking at it. There's an ELC Evan 90. Now that's the same one we saw earlier in the game on the banana. Yes, he was ahead of all the heavy tanks. He actually moved into that spot and then quickly got away before much damage was done. But it looks like he's trying to get at the Indian Panzer, and Talon's taking the safety precaution of moving position to get it away from that spot to K0, and then at least he can shoot at the enemy from all the way down the other end of the road, and if necessary he can escape by going back up the hill. But that ELC looks like he wants to try and get the Indian Panzer, and he's gone into the road where he would have found us, but apparently we're not there anymore. Okay, India ELC, can we get the shot on that target? Got a bit of a red mark, but he actually fired in. Oh, good shot! 231, and the Indian Panzer then took out the ELC directly afterwards. Even though the splash would have affected the Indian Panzer, he actually helped the Indian Panzer get the kill because he took down some of the hit points and made it much easier. Okay, well, something we can see is that somebody is in the cap. And now they're out of it, or they've been reset. As far as we can see, it's the Scorpion G, but there must be other enemy tanks down there, simply by virtue of the fact that we can see there's destruction going on in the cap area, and not all the enemy tanks are up the hill. In fact, now we've got a Panzer 58 trying to get at the Indian Panzer. Now, 2 Swiss tanks. Can we get a shot on this guy? Fully dialed in, rounds out. Oh, that was a splash kill! Yes, he took down the Panzer 58 Mutz. And so that's his first kill of the game for Talon. Now, there are still some enemy tanks up on the hill. They don't have much in the way of hit points. And we've got some tanks up there as well. He could drive up behind one of the enemy tanks and shoot him in the rear. In fact, that's always funny when you do that, because you always get a laugh. If an enemy tank suddenly sees an Arty coming up behind them, they've got to decide, are they going to take on the Arty, which they mostly want to do, or do they take on the enemy tanks, which happen to be there at the same time? So, it looks like we're going to get an IS-7. Oh, he's gone to the aim. Actually, much better to drive up to them and just shoot them. Not too close, but close enough to actually do damage. Well, he's been spotted by the IS-7 now. He's lining up the shell. And he does get some splash on the IS-7, 285. And I'm hoping he's going to get some stun assist, but no, it looks like he got rid of the stun. And that's it. The game's over. They've won. Here's the end of battle results, and that was the third-class tanker for talon1958 in the M53, M55. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. He managed to get 8, and he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And whilst this may not see a great result with a third class and a Confederate, in actual fact, it is the first result of this week, and therefore it is the leading score so far. And Angelina now has to beat this, which I'm pretty sure she will be able to do, but it's probably going to take her a couple of days or so to get some time to do it. Well, the win rate on that one as well, 1,329, which is good, but not great. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, Talon only got 1,308 hit points of actual damage in the game, which puts him way down the table. The high scorer was the 257, who managed to get a high caliber and took 4,850 hit points of damage, and he was still alive at the end of the game, would you believe it? The second highest damage was the Object 777 version 2 with 4,304, and the third highest damage, well, that was the enemy AMBT right up on the hill. He got 2,484 hit points. And we should also note that the T110E5 on our team also got a steel wall. Talon got the Confederate, and the 257, yes, the high caliber. When it came to kills, though, in fact, it was the T32 and the enemy Scorpion. Both got 3 kills each. 2 kills went to the 257, the E5, and the Indian Panzer, and the T44 on the enemy team. Talon only got the 1 kill, but it was that good one. Yes, the Indian Panzer, or not the Indian Panzer, the Panzer 58 Mutz. And when it came to base XP, we can see there were a number of tanks who managed to get over 1,000 base, including the 257, the 777 version 2, the T32, and the Carnarvon, all got over 1,000 base. Talon managed to get 733, and I think that was aided in part by the fact that he did get some stun assist in this game. He fired 8 rounds, got 2 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but 11 splash. damage of 1,308 hit points, of which 1,023 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see there was some close range damage from the shot he made on the IS-7. 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 1 was killed, and 555 hit points of stun assist off 7 stuns. On a premium count, he actually earned 27,063 credits profit, and he also took away 2,199 experience points as well. He says, turn that SPG into a TD. Yeah, if you've got the opportunity, go for it. Even if it's towards the end of the game and you know your team has managed to basically conquer most of the enemy, then you might as well have a bit of fun and just drive up behind one of the enemy tanks and give them the price of their lives, because it really is disconcerting to see an Arty sitting right behind you, because you have to make that decision. Do you attack the Arty or do you attack the enemy tanks? Either way, you're going to go down. So it's a bit of fun. Now, I must apologize for not having any replays or videos out on Monday. I haven't been well for a bit of a while, actually. In fact, for about a week, I've been feeling under the weather most of the time, actually. But I was really feeling terrible over the weekend, and that's the reason why there wasn't any replays on Monday. So I was doing my best to try and get as many replays as I could in, but I just felt so bad that, in fact, I was having to spend most of my day horizontal, simply because I just felt too ill to get up and about. So I do apologize if you didn't have any replays, but I will try and do as many as I can, and hopefully these ones will be out as quickly as I can, as soon as I can. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.